what that means. Detroit media icon Ryan Ermanni, University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network, Woodward Sports.
What is going on in Mighty Networks with Maz? Joining us today will be Anson Wells and Ryan Stead. Sorry we started the show a tad bit late. The problem is if you pan over to the Maz cam when everybody gets settled in, it takes Maz 4 hours to get into this Megatron of an Optimus Prime Maz chair. So we apologize, but Maz, you're locked up. So yes,
you don't even have your microphone.
See?
Completely messed up.
He doesn't even have the microphone.
There you go. I'm in the Pharaoh.
Maz, yesterday you didn't have to be in the Pharaoh because we were on live on
locked and
location
loaded.
at Edgewood, so you got a day off, but you're back in the chair today.
Hey, man, you hit the ball really hard yesterday. Really well.
I appreciate it. I'm trying to send this sentence up. I forgot to send it before the show started. Till you peep the video of Ryan laughing, me and you on the driver range. I'll send it.
No, you gotta send him the picture of Ryan's swing.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about.
It was?
The video.
Do we have a soundbite of Maz watching you hit and going, "Look at that body. He's an Adonis."
And just every time I swung, hey Ricky, it goes to the left. Let's go to the right.
Trying to get this in over the Pete right now.
Good times.
One day yesterday, though, absolutely.
So Pete has a new nickname. I didn't know Pete was such a good caddy. You said you caddy when you were younger. Like literally, Pete was looking at my swing in 2 seconds. He said, "Oh, you're hitting your elbow right here. Know what you want to do is." So Pete, a lot of kudos, man. You know the game.
Appreciate
a lot of
it, buddy.
respect.
I appreciate that, man. I still hit my Tommy Armour 845s, man. I mean, those are from like 1997 or even 1995, I think. So I love those clubs,
Pete's
man.
nickname is Bagger Vance. Remember that movie with Will Smith?
It's a great movie.
Great movie.
Great movie. I sent that over to Pete. We have to get this video in. Yesterday,
it was hilarious.
Yesterday we were on the driving range, a little bit of technical difficulty. So guys just hanging out, just kicking it. Ryan comes over to the green, grabs one of my clubs, and proceeds to have this very, very, very funny moment. Once we get there, we'll show you guys. How you guys been? You guys all right? You guys good? A lot happened in the world of sports.
There is.
Look what I got today from Anson. My hero.
Is that
Walt Clyde Frazier from Southern Illinois to Salukis. Stud NBA Hall of Famer.
what's
New
your-
York Knick hero.
Fondest memory of Walt Frazier in the Knick uniform?
Just his whole being. Him walking into Madison Square Garden with his mink coats on, his Rolls Royce, pulling up to Penn Station, having someone park it. He was it. And I wore his shoes for my whole entire childhood. I had every color of Clyde's. Every color of the Puma Clydes. I had the suede, the black and gold. I had the reds. I had the greens. I had the blue and orange. I had them all, man. And then when they traded him at the end of his career to Cleveland
Heartbreaker.
for Jimmy Clemens, I'll never forget it. And it broke my heart. But he'll always be a Knick. Great broadcaster still with Mike Breen. There you go, baby.
Still wears those outlandish colors.
Still
as
wears
well.
them.
All right, this is the moment. You guys got to watch it. It's funny. Turn your volume up. This is Ryan Ermanni yesterday at Edgewood driving range.
Let me know when you're ready.
Ready. Perfect. And the funniest thing about that is that it was completely Ryan's idea. It was his
It
phone.
was.
He told me to record. He told me to take pictures, and then he completely whiffs it. Can I play that again?
But please. For those of you that didn't fully pay attention, notice that there is still a ball on the range.
Ready.
Oh, I missed that the first time.
That's great.
Yo, listen, wherever you are, Ryan Ermanni, we love you. Never, never, never change. That's the first time that Ryan has had one of these sports moments that didn't go his way. Like
It's that the corner jumper, man. I figured he was gonna.
that was first take.
300.
Like that corner jumper on the intro, that was first take.
Wow.
First time we ever did an event in Woodward Sports, we did a folding event. Like he nailed it. He was the reason why we won the event. So that's the first time I saw Mr. Ermanni look human.
Oh man.
If you will. No, but getting back into
I'm glad you played it again. 'Cause I
had
didn't
to.
realize the ball was still sitting there.
Yeah, no, he completely missed it.
before we
They
get
call
into
that a whiff.
that was more than that because he almost threw his back out.
Yeah,
It was like
right.
almost a blown hernia in that. And we'll get into the Tigers who are just on this tear when it comes to the points. We'll dive into that. Also, there was a number 1 pick that went out in the NBA draft. We'll talk about that as well.
I can't wait to hear
But
what Ass
before,
has to say.
Like sometimes you actually
This
have
chair
to.
is this chair was just talking to me.
What does it say?
It literally was just talking to me.
What did it say, man?
This massage chair is paused. This massage chair is now massaging your lower back. I had to shut it off. I mean, I'll take the massage, but this thing is unbelievable, guys. $14,999 for this beauty. It is the Pharaoh.
That is a
You make it sound like such a headache. It's $15,000. Sit over there and enjoy it, big guy.
Enjoy.
Sit over there and enjoy it. Sometimes you have to just read these young kids. You know, sometimes you have to read these young kids. You just have to play the older card and let them know what it is. I was having a conversation the other day, and they were talking about Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry now has, 4 seasons over 1,500 yards, and no one else has more than 2 is currently playing. Somebody said it's time to have the conversation.
Yes, it is.
And my conversation is the conversation of what?
Maybe the best ever.
Oh, okay. And that's fair because this is what this person said. I said, okay, let me do a quick research and let you know that in the first 3 seasons of Derrick Henry's career, okay, 2,100 yards, 22 touchdowns, or actually 20 touchdowns. Barry Sanders, just to throw a name out there, just to Barry Sanders, 4,300 yards, 42 touchdowns in the first 3 years. And oh, by the way, Derrick Henry didn't even start full time his first 3 years. Meanwhile, Barry Sanders did. So he's like, well, Derrick Henry had 2,000 yards. So did Barry Sanders. Do some research. Like, how can you put Derrick Henry in the conversation of the greatest running back of all time? Just curious.
Well, so to me, he's not the greatest running back of all time. I think when you look at today's game, very few of these running backs get the lifespan of a Frank Gore, for instance.
Right.
You look back at the times of Emmett and Barry cut his career short. If that guy sticks around another 5 years, he probably has records that are close to untouchable. What my issue is I've been a lot of this has been coming out. I'm glad you brought this up today, but I keep seeing all these lists on Twitter about the greatest running backs, and they're in tiers. And Derrick's in like the 4th or 5th tier. Now I'm not trying to put him over Sweetness. I'm not trying to put him over Barry Sanders, but he should be in the tier 2 conversation.
Tier 2 you would have.
Starting to fall into like the Earl Campbell tier.
Okay. That's fair.
I think so.
That's definitely fair.
Yeah.
That's definitely fair.
You know, you got Jim Brown, obviously. You got to put Emmett up there. You got Sweetness. You got Barry.
OJ.
But then the next tier
No,
is where
no.
put. Hold on. The next tier is where everybody's putting LT and OJ and Earl Campbell. Now, you can argue that some of those guys could be in that top tier, but I think that's right where Derrick Henry should be. And realistically, we haven't had this conversation about him up until this offseason after what he did with the Ravens.
Yeah, to what Maz is about to say, I'm actually going to agree with you. OJ had 2,000 yards in 14 games.
Yeah.
Like what OJ was able to do, that miraculous 8-year stretch
With the Bills.
with the Buffalo Bills. Reggie McKenzie, shout out U of M,
Electric
Detroit
Company.
Highland Park zone. So yeah, but it was just interesting. I was like, let's dive into this a little deeper. But Woosah, I've got past that. Tom Mazaway, what your Detroit Tigers are doing yet again. They have another ace, it seems, developing. And you called it before the season.
Yep.
You said Jackson Jobe is the one actually on his pitching staff that has the best stuff, the deepest bag, as they say. Maz, 14-2. Just before you go, in the last 6 games, the last 6 wins, the Detroit Tigers, they have scored 58 runs. Last year, they couldn't buy a run. They got 58 runs and 6 wins.
And they only scored 4 runs in the 3 games against the Rangers.
Let
They had that
sink
in there.
Yeah.
They were great. I got home a little late last night after I had some things to do. I was going to go to the game. I couldn't make it. I get home, it's 11-0. I'm like, what the hell? I missed 11 freaking runs. So, of course, I rewound it because I tape every Tiger game. I rewound it, and I watched them dominate. Home runs from our second baseman, Gleyber Torres, Trey Sweeney. Remember I said that's the worst infield ever? I was wrong, completely freaking wrong. The only guy that didn't have a hit was Torque. Went 0 for 5 yesterday.
Maz, not to cut you off. MLB baseball said the same thing. Ben Verlander said the same thing. Everybody in baseball said the same thing you said. So it's not you. Everyone said
we
that.
were wrong. This team is such a dynamic team. The way they play together is outstanding. Tonight's game was supposed to be Casey Mize. He goes on the DL, got a little hamstring issue, got to take care of that. He's been pitching lights out. this time against the Red Sox. They get a break, man. So it's going to be a bullpen game tonight. Tyler Holton will start it. And remember last year, at the end of the year, every game was a bullpen game except for Tarek Skubal. All right, so we're in 4-1 tonight. Let's see how the puppeteer manages this bullpen. And I'm looking forward to a fun game tonight. I hope they get it in. Hope the rain holds off. Nothing better than beating the Bo Sucks 14-2.
Yeah, nothing better. You know, you talk about Tarek Skubal. I read a stat that everybody pretty much has read. Was it 45 strikeouts to 4 walks? Wow. Yeah. The first time it's ever been done. Like, Detroit fans, you really, really, really have to dive in to what is taking place this season as it relates to connecting all these three sports. Like a year ago, your Tigers, they had a 1% chance to make the playoffs, and now here they are, a vetted team, a team you trust, leading team in the league. But every time you mention one of these franchises or players, you're hearing first time ever, record breaking. Like, not just being good. Like, all that season with the Detroit Lions from the offensive standpoint, what was it? We have never seen this before. And I watched The Greatest Show on Turf. You look at what the Tigers did. You look at what Tarek Skubal was doing. You've never seen this before in the history of baseball. No one's ever done this. And then what the Pistons did, 14-44. So every time I feel like I turn on major sports, I'm hearing for the first time ever.
But no coaches of the year. And you look at Hinch.
Way to get him, Anson.
Hinch last year, this was a case of your coaching exceeding your talent level. Yeah. This year, the talent is meeting the coaching, the management of Hinch. And what you see is this team that actually has talent on paper, has the best manager in baseball, but they're confident. And they're maybe even a mildly brash and cocky at this point, and they've earned that. So what the future holds for this team is truly special. It's very similar to what we've seen with the Lions and with the Pistons, because the core is so young and the ceiling, we just don't know where it stops.
Maybe a little early to say best manager in baseball, but I definitely see the trajectory that he's on.
He's up there.
Man, okay, well, let me shut up then. Yeah. Let me ask you another question about something you know who about. Gleyber Torres. Yeah. They bring him in. You said yourselves, he's a guy, he can hit a little bit, but he's a little at the end of the road. Seems to find a resurgence of some sort.
No doubt, man. He came here on a 1-year deal. He left the Yankees to come to Detroit. You know what? Maybe other teams didn't want to offer him 1-year deals. The Tigers did. Scott Harris is like he's got the witch's brew working up there in the general manager's office. Mm-hmm. He knows what he's doing. He brings these guys in on 1-year deals. Let's see what you can do. A guy that turned us down was Alex Bregman. Played on the other side last night, got booed every time he came up. And he said, I got nothing against Detroit and their fans. I understand why they're booing. I can hit home runs. I can hit in any park. Yeah. Boom.
Where?
You went to the cookie cutter at Fenway. You owned that green monster. You're playing right off that green monster. You didn't want to come here. And there's a reason you didn't want to come here. You wanted the gaudy numbers. Well, take your gaudy numbers in Boston, and we're going to outpitch you, and we're going to outhit you, and we're going to outfield you, and we're going to finish ahead of the Red Sox, and we're going to beat you. You don't want to come here? That's fine. Stay in Boston.
Yeah, that's fine. Rafael Devers, who was much made of who was going to play what position, he's been on a tear. I think 9 out of 9 games he's been on base. Like he's one
of the best hitters in the American League.
Yeah, he definitely is. But Tigers
can't stand him though.
Why don't you like him?
Well, he's Boston.
Boston and Yankees, man. That thing goes deep.
You don't know. I hate the Red Sox more than I hate LeBron.
No, impossible.
Ooh, wow. I don't know about
impossible.
that.
Oh, no, it is.
Wow.
That's a lifelong thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Because LeBron's only been around for 25 years.
I've only known him for 20. My hate only goes 20 years deeper.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because LeBron, what pick was he?
He was number 1, and we picked number 2.
Well, this year the number 1 pick has been announced by the NBA, as well as the number 2 pick, which will be the Spurs. The number 1 pick in the NBA this year falls to Dallas Mavericks.
We told you.
What? No.
Right.
I gotta say,
we told you.
Charlotte Hornets.
A 1% chance.
They do the frozen envelope again.
Look at this. The Philadelphia 76ers.
The fix is in.
The fix.
The second pick will be made by the San Antonio Spurs.
Really?
And that means that the number 1 pick in the 2025 NBA draft goes to the Dallas Mavericks.
I'm very
amazing.
disappointed in myself.
Yep.
That was the Texas two-step. I said it. Braylon too. I said Dallas, and the Spurs will finish second. And they had 2 chances to hit the lottery, and Anson called them from months ago. But once that trade was made, Bray, it was over.
So
That fake trade.
I have this isn't a segment, but this is a new thing that we're gonna do. This is imagined by Ryan Ermanni in terms of how he does it, but I put my little spin on it. Ryan comes in here about once a month, once every 2 months, and he has a I told you so moment that he'll talk about, and it's usually some good ones. Aiden Hutchinson finishing higher than K9 was one of the best ones he's ever had.
It's his hot take.
It's his hot take. Well, we're gonna put a spin on it. It's called "Put Some Respect on My Name." In the words of Birdman at the Breakfast Club, are we finished or are we done? Put some respect on my name.
Hot
And this
take
time,
alert.
This is about me.
Hot
Put some
take.
respect on my name. Me and Anson both told you guys that it would be the
that?
Spurs and Dallas from jump.
Wait.
We told you once Victor Wembanyama got hurt, it would be the Spurs. Once Dallas trade went through, we said that it was going to be Dallas soon as Kyrie got hurt. We said it was going to be that. We told you it was going to be that from jump. And going back to the Nico Collins conversation, Nico's the dumbest GM. Nico's this. How did he fleece this? Oh my God! Did you hear what he did with the Steph Curry situation with the shoe deal for Nike? He blew that. You believe that Nico Collins wasn't anything more than a pawn? You believe that Nico Collins in the middle of the night can call Jeannie Buss and say, we're going to send Luka, arguably the most valuable player not named LeBron in the league, to L.A.? That was Adam Silver all the way. You didn't believe that it was bigger than Nico Collins, that they were not going to get the number 1 pick back in return? What? This is very similar when to a young individual left Cleveland to go to Miami, and here comes 2 number 1 picks to follow him back to Dan Gilbert. Much like when AD leaves the New Orleans Pelicans. Who got the number 1 pick? The Pelicans, and they got Zion Williamson. This is nothing more than Adam Silver learning from David Stern, the school of this is my NBA, and I will run it the way that I want to. The frozen envelope, this is what they do. This is nothing more than the mob, and they want this Texas to be great because you get Dallas, San Antonio, Houston, major markets. Now you got the East is good with the Knicks, Boston, even the Midwest has a foothold. Got to make L.A. right again. LeBron's kind of out of here. I don't know if AD. What do? How about we send Luka over there, and then LeBron had this to say when
What
the
a
trade
joker.
happened. Are you serious, LeBron?
What a joker.
Maz, I will let you take over
Thank
from
you.
here, but I told you this is what it was. Nico Collins, all they told him to do, you shut up, you don't mess this up, you will make a lot of money, and people will tell you you're great. Shh, don't say nothing.
In case you missed it on the
Here comes my favorite
YouTube
segment.
feed, LeBron put out his little tweet with the laughing emojis. And I said, what are you laughing at? You're the one that orchestrated this. I loved when he said, oh, yeah, I didn't know this trade was going down. I talked to AD, and, yeah, I was shocked. I can't believe it. Horse shit.
Hey.
Sorry, Dina Sanavani.
We apologize.
Horse crap.
We understand, man.
You're the one that did it. You're the commissioner. I don't know why they made you the commissioner, but you are the commissioner. He pulled the strings for that trade. The Lakers get Luka. They fell on their face, thank God. I hope they fall on their face again. And Dallas got a guy that hopefully will be as good as Luka, but maybe play some defense as well. And I'm happy for Nico over there in Dallas. I hope he survives and he stays the GM because the guy's had egg on his face. And that wasn't him pulling the trade, guys. You heard Braylon. It's not him. It's Silver and it's LeBron. And it's the Lakers and it's the NBA in New York.
I just don't
The only thing I don't understand is why don't they give the Knicks a break? That's the only thing I don't understand.
They got to break every game against the Pistons, bro.
All right, let's not go there.
Before we get there, because I actually do have something about these Pistons. I think the Pistons are still affecting the playoffs. If you catch my drift, we'll get into that. But there's a question surrounding this topic, and it's a real one. This is not new to special to this show. It's the question. Do you take Cooper Flagg with the number 1 overall pick if you're the Dallas Mavericks, or are you entertaining individuals to move up? And that's a real question. I want you guys to answer.
It's a fantastic question. My issue, yesterday we're at Edgewood CC, and I'm talking with Ryan Ermanni about the possible trade that Shams had put out, which is Duran, Ivy, Holland, and 3 first-round picks. He thought it would just be Holland and Ivy or Holland and Duran and 2 picks. But that's not the current landscape of the NBA. So I need a little more context of that question. Can you just trade the number 1 for Giannis? And if you can do that, the window in Dallas right now is kind of right now. I don't know how Kyrie's going to come back from a pretty serious injury. Yeah. And we know that Anthony Davis doesn't play much more than 60 games. So to me, if you're trying to keep your fan base happy and you're trying to capitalize on this shrinking championship window, sure, you make that deal for Giannis. Maybe you give up some future stuff. But personally, you guys hear me every damn day I'm here. Run it like Brad and Dan run it. Run it like this young Pistons team is set up. Instead of giving all of your assets away to get one guy, Cooper Flagg is it, period. I've been watching this kid since AAU, been watching him since high school, seen him at Duke. This kid has everything, and he's got it right here and right here as well. He is one of the great superstars of the future NBA. You'd have to bowl me over to get him instead of me trying to buy Giannis.
Okay, well, let me rephrase that then. Unless you want to answer that question, Maz. You want to answer as it's currently constructed?
Yeah, sure.
All right, go ahead. Go for it.
I might entertain it. I might entertain trading it. Now, you have to pick the right team. If I'm going to get Giannis to come over to Dallas, and I know Dallas has been wanting Giannis for a long time. They just signed his brother, by the way.
Interesting.
Okay? just to throw that out there. Brian Windhorst. I got that off of him.
Nasses?
Listen, man, if you can get Giannis and a couple of other players, and they already thought when they made the Luka trade, if AD was healthy and Kyrie was healthy, that they had a chance to go deep this year in the playoffs.
Absolutely. One of the best defensive teams.
Now you want to add Giannis?
Yeah. Who's
to
a great
those
defender
guys?
as well.
Yeah.
Here's what I look at. Bird in the hand, or who knows what Cooper Flagg is? Who knows? Bird in the hand or Cooper Flagg?
Flag in the
Now,
bush.
is Cooper Flagg as good as Victor Wembanyama? No.
No, hell no.
Okay. So if it was Victor, I'm taking Victor overall. Cooper Flagg, I think I'll take the bird in the hand and take Giannis and a couple other players. I will do that deal.
Set some trade parameters. So is it straight up? Is it Flagg just for Giannis? Because I'm doing that. But if it's Flagg and 2 first-rounders, a couple of key pieces, your 6th man, I'll tell you,
Giannis and 3 first-rounders.
Ooh. Oh, wait. Giannis 4 Flagg and 3 first-rounders.
Yes.
Man, it just, this is the conspiracy theorist in me because we go back to the Adelsons and that whole deal with the casinos and them trying to tank the team. Now this looks on the other side of it. Anytime Danny Ainge is involved in a blockbuster trade, the league office has a finger on that trade, and we saw that last night. Man, that's really hard. It's really hard because, as Maz says, you bring Giannis to Dallas, and it's OKC in Dallas, period.
They'll
the whole
blow
NBA.
OKC out of the water with Giannis. They'll blow them out of the water.
OKC?
Yes.
Have you been watching those games?
I know they're good.
Okay.
I know they're good.
Okay.
I'll take my chances with the Dallas trio. The
Dallas
Dallas
trio.
quad. The quad in Dallas.
It'll be interesting. I tell you what, the lane will be clogged. Like, the lane will be clogged. You're talking about AD, you're talking Giannis, and you're talking Gafford. Like, those are 3 individuals that are 6'10" and above, and they're going to take up a lot of space. So that part will be interesting. I'm taking Cooper Flagg. Like, I'm going to take Cooper Flagg. I don't think he's a master of anything.
Big faith.
Yet.
Love
I
it.
don't. But you know why I would take Cooper Flagg? Kyrie Irving is arguably the most skilled basketball player ever. It's Michael Jordan and Kobe. But for the conversation, do you know what he could do in terms of working with Cooper Flagg? Do you know how Cooper Flagg could benefit as a 6'8" stretch wing that can dribble like that, finish like that at the basket? And also, you know who else they have? They have AD. AD is arguably the most skilled big man at his position, the 4th position in the league. So you mix that in, you're building a robot for the future. You're building for your future, and you lose Luka, who was your guy. He was your piece. Now he's gone. I think you need another one, and it's not a guy that already belongs to another franchise.
Well, and with that take, I mean, listen, Kyrie's 33 years old coming off a torn ACL. He's not 23, not 26, 33 years old.
That's why you make the move.
Well, to capitalize on 1 year, maybe 2 year window, and I get that. Flags fly forever. I'm not convinced that they couldn't make a finals push with Cooper Flag if Kyrie's healthy, if you get a full season out of AD. That piece going forward for the next decade, being a Dallas Maverick, I truly think that he is, maybe not the generational player that we called Wembanyama, but he is part of this next generation of superstars, in my opinion. Yeah. I'm really on the fence. It would have to come down to what the deal was, but 3 firsts and Flag, not happening. Not happening.
3 firsts and not happening on your watch.
I'm not trading Cooper Flag and 3 first-round picks for Giannis at 30 years old. I'm not.
Respect. Look, there was basketball last night. Some interesting things did happen. Let's get a commercial break in. Let's come back. Let's reset. Because I want to know, do you still think who you thought before the playoffs started is going to win? We'll get back, but first, let's get a message in from Dr. Pierce.
All right, guys, you know it. I tell you my story. Yes, I go to Dr. Pierce in Michigan Sports and Spine. Not for my spine, not for my knees, but for my elbow. Both of them. Tennis elbow. It's a real thing. And it sucks. It hurts. I go there. I'm getting better every single day. I go twice a week for therapy. I'm just going to tell you guys, Dr. Pierce and his gang there at Michigan Sports and Spine keep you in the game, feeling better than you felt. And it's just, I'm telling you guys, firsthand info. I do it. Give them a try today. MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944. Make your appointment. Let them go in there. They're going to check it out. They're going to scope you. They're going to put the stuff on your arm. They're going to check you, whether it's your knee, it's your arm, it's your shoulder, it's your back, whatever. And they're going to get you right. It's Michigan Sports and Spine. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone. Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasta salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at woodwardsports.com.
Hey, guys, looking to Looking to upgrade your relaxation game? Look at me.
Turn it on.
Check it out, guys. It's the Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills, the largest massage chair selection in the Midwest. It's got the biggest showroom in the Midwest. The top brands for massage chairs like Infinity and Osaki. Located on the corner of Woodward and Long Lake Road. Experience luxury comfort with Dr. Eric Duncan. He is the wellness doc, the creator of the top YouTube massage chair review channel. Check it out. It's massagechairhouse.com. Massagechairhouse.com, or check out the QR code, the Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation. And I'm putting this sucker on right now.
Yeah, you know, if you're gonna sell these chairs, man, you gotta look excited about it. You can't like somebody got a gun in your head. You know what I'm saying? You gotta look excited.
You know what I'm excited about is the fact that you wore green again every time, and I got blue on, of course.
It is a subliminal thing at this point. Anson, you can see the car collection, see some stud situations over there.
You guys
What
know
got
the
for
deal.
people, man?
I got some Kirby Joseph, little Juan Soto, an old school Joe Dumars, some former Michigan State Kirk Cousins, some old vintage Tigers cards.
Fat Joe D, as I like to call him.
I like that one. I almost didn't give it away.
I only Fat Joe D was a good player.
I remember Joe D's last dunk, and he had on those teal uniforms. Like, he barely got off the ground. His last dunk, barely.
There it is. Yeah, he wasn't a Skywalker, but we also have the Braylon Edwards rookie card that we will have the legend himself signed for you guys. You guys know the deal. Get those super chats in. We'll read them for you. Whoever gets one in, you're going to get a slice of that pie. We're going to spin the wheel at 3:55. So get those super chats in all the way up until 3:50.
Basketball was on last night. We'll start with, obviously, the Knicks and the Celtics, probably the big storyline in the playoffs. And, hey, Anson, you better relax, man. These Knicks seem like they are destined to get to the final game. But
you mean chosen by Adam Silver?
Hey, you know what? Chosen or not, Jalen Brunson is putting on the show. They win 121-113, but we'll get into Jalen Brunson. Secondly, Jason Tatum does go down towards the end of the fourth quarter with a torn Achilles, so he will be out for the remainder of the playoffs. 42-8-4. We've been asking Jason Tatum to have a game. We've been asking him to step up. We've been asking him to take over. We're trying to anoint you one of the faces of the league. Like, when's that going to happen? Seems like last night was the night, but, you know, in the unfortunate turn of events, it just seems like because of how the game is now, I'm not Dr. Pierce. I'm not coming up here with doctor's knowledge, but Jason Tatum plays the game a certain way. He shoots falling away threes the entirety of the game. Every once in a while, he'll slash to the basket when there's an opening. The NBA has forced them this playoffs to play differently. Mm-hmm. They're aggressive. They're picking up 90 feet. They're in your chest. Like, he's facing the basket. I think a lot of the stress that he's putting on his body in these situations, it's a new type of stress for these bodies. The league hasn't been this physical in a very long time, and I think that could attribute to it. But do the Boston Celtics still have a chance without Jason Tatum?
I don't think that they do. I think that they can send the series to a Game 6 back in New York. I think that they can handle business in Boston. I will say this about Tatum. At times there's, I'm watching that SGA game when J-Dub had just an amazing game. They had an opportunity to win it. He's carrying them in the fourth quarter, and then SGA, because he's SGA and this is his team, takes the final 2 or 3 possessions, doesn't even pass the ball. They lose that game. There's a lot of times where I see Jason Tatum, and I want to backtrack. He wasn't asked for this game. He was shamed into this game. Every single social media, ESPN, everybody, they were talking about how bad he was and how he's not a superstar. And that's been going on for a couple years. You and I have been doing it to him.
But to be fair, when your team is struggling like the Celtics are,
I don't think that it's unfair.
But that's not shame. We're telling you to do your
job.
Absolutely.
And when I look at that team at times, he feels like he has to will them back into games, and he doesn't realize that you probably have the best and deepest roster up and down in the NBA. And when those guys aren't passing the ball and they start getting into one-on-one play, it's when they lose games. Yeah. So I have a sneaky suspicion that this game in Boston, Game 5, I think that's one that they can handle. Can they go to New York and win a Game 6 without Jason Tatum? Man, I really don't know about that. it's a hard series to watch. I was saying it to you in the break. I hate the Celtics with every fiber of my being.
Same.
I have always hated the Knicks, though. I've always felt that they're a joke. I love you, Maz. I'm sorry, but I love watching New York fans have their heart ripped out year after year after year and rebuild after rebuild after rebuild. But that team, you mentioned the Pistons influencing this playoff. If the Knicks don't play that physical, Braylon, back to you.
I knew if you kept going, you were going to eventually get there. Maz, I wanted to bring you in on this one. I appreciate you answering. Pistons are a team that's still affecting the playoffs. The physicality in which was the first round against the New York Knicks, how they played that, they're still affecting it because the Knicks had to bring their A game. The Knicks had to bring their A game to beat the Pistons, what got them rolling. And that's where they're rolling. I'll talk about the New York Knicks right now.
First, I just want to say something about the Pistons that I'll keep saying. The Pistons were better than a lot of people said they were. They gave the Knicks a better game, a better series than the Celtics. Yes. I know it was 6 games. Go ahead.
I have a thought on that. And this is actually just a question. I was talking to Max about this today, so fair enough, perfect time to bring it up. Is this unfair for the NBA to 180 the rules at the start of the playoffs? And the only reason I ask, you've allowed a certain type of play for the last however many years, and teams were slotted in the playoffs years based on how that play was. Meanwhile, you nixed that. No, you can't play this way. Now you have to play this type of way. Now a different type of team, a physical type of team is coming up to the forefront. Is it fair to say, like, yeah, the Pistons were good, but the style of play and how they're changing? Because if the Celtics were playing under the old rules, I guarantee you it would be a different series. It will look a different way.
It's the playoffs. Don't they always change for the playoffs?
Not like this. Like every team.
They're letting them play.
The only teams not complaining are the Timberwolves and the Knicks. That's because they're up 3-1. And they figured it out because they're deeper benches. They're more physical.
I love this topic.
It's
right?
a real
topic.
question.
I have not seen physicality in the playoffs like this for 15 years.
Since the Knicks and the Heat.
For 15 years. And the fact is that they did this overnight, like you said.
Yeah.
We've watched a hands-off, perimeter-focused game that, quite honestly, has turned fans off. Ratings have gone down. People are talking about these playoffs.
Yeah.
From the Western Conference to the Eastern Conference, and I'm hooked. Yeah. Even hate watching that Celtics-Knicks series. They are letting them play. And you know, when you kind of reference that, it's been in my brain since that series ended. The
Keep
Pistons,
in mind, I love it, and I have no problem with it. I like it, but it's a. If I was a hooper, it would be a real question for me.
Well, and the Pistons, by coming out and playing the way they did against the Knicks, kind of shocked the Knicks. And the Knicks had to adjust their game physically, and they did. They met them physically and defensively, but it gave them permission to take that same physicality into round 2 against the Celtics. And to your great point, that is now how the Celtics are built.
Nope.
They are a finesse, perimeter-oriented team.
Three-pointer.
And those first 2 games, the threes weren't falling for them at all. They blew them out in game 3. It's because they were hitting their threes. I am shocked, and I'm impressed, and I want to tip my hat to Adam Silver, which is the only and first and last time that I will do that. But there was a memo that went out to these referee crews, and I'll tell you what, they know. They're seeing the returns in the ratings. The ratings for these playoffs are better than they've been in some years. People are talking about them, and it's just the basketball that we want to watch. I'm curious how this young generation's handling it, because they haven't ever seen this kind of ball before.
Well, I think they'll start to see who the true best players are based on how this NBA is going. Look, one of the biggest things that the Knicks did is they went and got wing defenders to help out Jalen Brunson. When you're playing with Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, now they have Mikal Bridges and Anunoby, who's a physical defender. Remember I told you, Anunoby was a player that bothered me the most. He's a physical defender.
And Josh Hart, all 3 of them.
Speaking of Josh, funny story, Jalen Brunson, funny story, Matt, as we talk about your guy who is playing the best basketball. I don't want this to be about Jason Tatum getting hurt. I want this to be respectful to Jalen Brunson getting 38 yet again. Jay Will was on ESPN today, and he was talking about Jalen Brunson's father was on the staff when he was with the Bulls. Say he used to bring Jalen Brunson up there the whole time and would dog cuss him. You know the things.
Of course.
Said that's how he got tight. That's how he built that. And then when he would run with Jay Willen, he would tell them, treat my player like a grown man, or treat my son like a grown man. Don't treat him like he's 12. Don't treat him like he's 11. He said, talk to him. He's been walking in this space for a very long time. I think that gets left out when you, like, how he's this good, how he has this resolve. Like, this isn't on accident. He didn't help the Western Conference, what was it, the Dallas Mavericks? He didn't help them get to the Western Conference on accident. He didn't win 2 championships at Villanova on accident. Jalen Brunson is that.
He is. I don't get it, Anson. I
Stop
don't
looking
get
at
you.
me. Stop looking at me while
Listen,
you talk about
I don't
Brunson.
get you. First of all, he had 39 last time. He missed a freaking free
sorry,
throw
my
at the
apologies.
end to make 40.
There you go.
He's best. He's the best freaking shooter in the NBA besides Steph Curry.
I knew that was coming.
Besides Steph Curry, this son of a gun is the best shooter. You want to boo him? You want to curse him? All you're doing is injecting him with more pride.
Is he the
more
second
confidence.
best shooter, or is he the most clutch player?
I think both.
He's second in both.
He's phenomenal.
I would take Steph Curry to take my final shot.
Of course.
But hey, I'm conceding a lot here.
But the fact that you're conceding,
it's not even a wide margin between
job,
the two.
Maz.
Either. I've watched what he did to the Pistons. I've watched this series with Boston. Last night, he was beyond tremendous. He wasn't hitting wide open shots. He was working for everything, fade away to
Great
the
ball
rack.
handler.
Hey, listen, he played a tremendous game last night. I can't take away anything from them last night. I didn't see any calls I hated. This series seems a lot more evenly called than what I felt the Pistons series was. Pistons aren't there yet, though. It's their first glimpse. We'll get a chance, but I can respect him like I respected Larry Bird and Jordan, but I'm never going to like him.
I will say this. Anson, that's growth. Will you have a mask?
Yeah, he's all right.
What was it?
Okay. I said that's growth.
Yeah, I said he's getting there.
I appreciate that.
I want to ask you guys this.
Because I got something too. Go ahead.
You ready?
Yeah.
Take your hate out of your heart.
I don't have any.
This team could win the finals.
Yeah.
This team could win the championship.
I don't think anybody can deal with OKC, to be quite honest with you.
I don't even got OKC making it. We'll get to that. But, as I told you, I think it's going to be the Knicks and Wolves. So, yes, 100% this team can get there.
Now, I'm not discounting the Pacers. The Pacers and Knicks will be a war. But they remember what the Pacers did to them last year. You could put that – I'm telling you, man, they are built – they're built to win. I'm shocked. I didn't think they had a chance.
I will say this.
But they impressed the hell out of me.
If the Knicks lost to the Pacers, then I would have issues with the Knicks moving forward. Just putting that out there. I would have major issues. But just thinking about this series, Kristaps Porzingis being hurt, it's affecting and it's allowing 100% because no one is talking about Cat. Karl Anthony Towns was a number 1 overall pick. Karl Anthony Towns was the leader of a team that he just left in the Timberwolves. He has a 7'1" wing that center that shoots the 3 ball. He is getting lost in the shuffle because of how good Jalen Brunson is and then Kristaps being injured. He is floating around being able to do what he wants to do. Like, this is how they're having that success. When you got 4 guys making 9-figure deals, when you got 4 guys like Mikal Bridges, he went for 4 first-round picks. And in the big moments in the fourth quarter, where do you find Mikal Bridges? Doing his job. Like, this is a well-constructed team, and they're just finding that rhythm now. Everything is syncing at the right time for them.
Well, I talked to you last week, and I said this NBA is wide open. And, you know, everybody was picking the Boston. Obviously, everybody's leaning towards OKC with the regular season that they had. So far, they're mostly handling their business as a young team in the playoffs.
Is Adam Silver responsible for this league being wide open, or is it money? Is it a collection of things, Maz and Anson?
Honestly, I think it's the baton is being passed by the old generation. I don't think it has really much to do with Adam Silver. Because if it was up to Adam Silver, the Lakers would still be in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
When I look at this...
True, but they haven't been back-to-back champions since the Heat.
Is that right?
Or Golden State.
Oh, yeah.
And that was how long ago? 15, 16? Or 17, 18?
Well, I look at this thing right now, and you have all of these guys that Maz is going to be sad to say goodbye to. LeBron number 1 on that list. But this whole new cast of guys from Ant-Man, Brunson, all of these guys, it is a brand new NBA. But you take a couple of just key injuries, and the Pistons don't get a chance to beat the Knicks. You get Darius Garland, who literally is the engine that pushes that Cavs team. I love Donovan Mitchell, but when you've got the fastest, best handling point guard in the NBA who can't really move, it takes everything away from what you want to do. All over the NBA, we see these new young guys, whether it's Cade, whether it's Paolo. Wembanyama's going to get a chance. We are on the dawn of a new age, and I do think that one thing, if there is an Adam Silver influence on this, it was him calling the refs and saying, let these boys play. Let's let whoever this new young face of the league, whoever it wants to be, whether it's Ant-Man, whether it's Brunson, whether it's any of these guys, let's just let them go and handle it like it's 1989.
Here, man, let's get you in. There was another team that played last night. Last thing, about the Celtics. Porzingis being hurt. Guess who started last night? Al Horford. 38 minutes at 38 years old. That's another reason why you're losing. Al Horford ain't supposed to be playing 38 minutes.
No, sir.
Right. 38 is crazy, but it goes back to the injuries. You mentioned Ant-Man. Last night, they win again, 117-110. They knock off Golden State Warriors.
Hold on, Bray. Did we mention the injury to Tatum? Was I getting my massage at that time?
We did. We talked about the Achilles.
I feel bad for the guy, that's all.
No, go ahead. Get your spill and talk about it.
He had a hell of a game last night, huh?
I'm sorry, man. It's my apologies.
It's all right. Going towards the end of the first half, he hits those 3 threes in a row from way back. And I said, okay, I'm going to take a break. I did. I took a break. I switched. I put baseball on. The Tigers were blowing them out. So I put on another game. I went on MLB on my package and went on there. I took a break, but I kept checking the score. I see the Knicks crawling back in. I'm all right. Now I'll put it back on. And I was shocked. And to see that guy go down, with the 3 minutes to go in the game, fighting to get a ball, fighting to keep the ball in his side of the court, I feel terrible, man. The Achilles injury that's a killer, man, for a basketball player.
Same play in almost the same spot on the court as Damian Lillard.
Yeah. It's terrible. And, of course, I had to go back to Kobe. I remember the Kobe one. It's like getting shot. It's like getting shot in your leg, right?
Yeah, it's a shock. It's a shock. That's what I've heard. I've never done it. I hope to never do it.
Thank God.
But I heard it is like a shock. It's an unusual feeling.
Just wanted to say, hey, 40 points from that guy.
42.
He tried to answer the bell last night. Yeah. All right. Let's get off it. Let's get off his back a little. He tried.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. He had a hell of a game last night, and he answered the critics. It's very sad that it ended the way it did.
Yeah.
Very sad.
Sorry, Bray.
Oh, no. You're absolutely good.
Have at it, man. Go after my Warriors now.
No,
they're finished.
It is what
we
it
said
is.
They were finished when Steph went down.
Steph Curry is the engine that drives this machine. He was on a tear. Like, you got to have Steph. I know this game is close, but it really wasn't close. The 117-110 doesn't implicate what it really was. Like, you just need Steph. Because Jimmy Buckets, who wasn't Jimmy Buckets last night, and I don't
playoff Jimmy.
He wasn't playoff Jimmy. And look, I know they're undermanned, so you're like, no, he just had a bad game from a player in that point. They don't have enough. And Steve Kerr, we give him so much credit. Why weren't you playing Kuminga this season?
Why hasn't he played him his whole damn career?
Like, Steve Kerr, like, you not liking the young players. Like, something's got to give, because the last 3 games, Kuminga's got 32, 23, 18. He's learning how to play the game. He's their most athletic player. Like, I just don't understand that. But the Timberwolves have too much. It's not about the Warriors. It's about the Timberwolves. Ant-Man, 30 points. But Julius Randle, you talk about coming together at the right time. You're talking about finding yourself. He couldn't play playoff basketball his whole career. Like, he changed from playoffs. You know how the regular season, people turn it up a notch in the playoffs? He never had that notch, but he's finding his way. 31 points last night. He looks like a completely different player than when he played at Madison Square Garden. And when Ant-Man has that, he's got 30. Julius Randle's got 31. You get a kick in here, a kick in there, and they play defense like they do. They're going to be tough.
Yeah. Edwards had 16 in the third.
Whenever he wants to.
Third,
he knows when to step up.
Yeah.
Julius Randle looked like a different player in New York, and he looked like a different player for the first 3 quarters of this season.
Yeah.
These guys might have missed having a actual playoff game. They might have been in the play-in game if he doesn't change his game and start to assimilate with the team.
He lost that weight, too.
Yeah, and he looks fantastic. in so many different facets of the game, even running the point as a forward on occasion. I don't see them getting by OKC. I can understand why you do. Both teams are just tremendous, maybe the two best defensive teams in the league right now. It all comes down to Dante DiVincenzo, who, conversely to Randall, has never quite found his flow with this Timberwolves team. If he can find that in a Western Conference Finals, start hitting the three, which has really never fallen for him for more than a 3-4 game stretch during this season. He was tremendous with the Knicks.
Yeah, he was.
I think that that's their key, because I don't really see where that consistent third scoring's coming from on that team. Defensively, they're fantastic, but I've seen Ant-Man frustrated into bad shots in both of these first and second round. And I think that with OKC, you're facing 12 guys that are all about 6'7", and long and quick and athletic as hell. And then you got the big guys inside as well. That's going to be a really tough series for them offensively. I think both teams defensively are going to be fantastic, but OKC has just the potential to go on serious scoring runs that I don't think they'll be able to deal with. But to your point, Julius Randle has changed the look of this team, and I think that if Dante DiVincenzo can catch up, you might be right. We might be seeing him in the finals.
Maz, who would you trust between SGA and Anthony Edwards? Both young new leaders in this league, both extremely talented. Same.
Ant-Man, for sure.
Same.
Why?
SGA still makes mistakes. He's still not completely blossomed yet, if you ask me.
I see mistakes with both of them, and it's ego mistakes.
I think Edwards, can I say he wants it more? I feel like he is, hey, this is my time. I just took care of the guy I told you I was going to take care of, LeBron. He's on a trajectory.
Hold on.
Big time.
I know what you're about to say.
He's got it in him. He wants to show everybody, yeah, I'm that guy.
I agree with Maz, and I know what you're about to say is different. Look, SGA also wants it. He's just a nonchalant guy. Anthony Edwards more aggressive and doesn't mind speaking his mind. But that's the aggression I want. Because sometimes that nonchalantness, when he tries to turn in, talking about SGA, when he tries to turn it up to be a leader, or when he tries to turn up and be vocal, it sometimes comes off a little, for Lou Dort to hear it, or Jay Will, like, this isn't where we at right now. When you watch it, versus Anthony Edwards, this is who I am all the time.
I like an in-your-face guy.
Yeah. Well, what I've seen, though, with OKC is that he is their unquestioned leader, and you ever see all of their post-game? All 8 of them come up, 12 of them come up. Anthony Edwards has a little bit of a different character to him. He's an angry guy on the court.
Oh, he's an angry black man, huh?
No, he's just an angry basketball.
He said on the court.
I'm just.
I know.
I was listening to.
You tried to catch me on some of that garbage yesterday too, man.
Stoked the fire.
I was listening.
So, what I've seen out of both of those guys is when it gets to the nitty-gritty in the last few minutes, I don't think Ant-Man has somebody else that he can turn to, whereas SGA has plenty of guys, J-Dub being one of them. I still see those guys trying to take over games because I'm the face of the league. I'm the face of this team. Whereas, I don't know, man, with OKC, there's just so many other players to turn to. But I got to go back to this, and I know that defensively, OKC is the best team in the league, so it might skew these numbers. But you know who the top 2 defensive rated players in the NBA are? Jalen Williams, number 1, and SGA, number 2. So what SGA does with a quietness defensively is every bit as good as Ant-Man, maybe better. I do think that he is better at incorporating his teammates at this point in his career than Ant-Man is, but I still see the same fault with them being their ego in pressure moments.
A lot of those stats are related to when you're whooping teams by 30,
no doubt,
and they're jacking up threes. That helps out. Maz, Pacers, Cavs. Are the Cavs done? 3-1. Play tonight.
They're not done.
Cavs aren't done?
No.
Don't stick a fork in them?
They're not done yet.
Tell me why. 7 o'clock game.
Pacers are playing they're playing the hey, we're an underdog kind of guy. Did you hear Rick Carlisle the other day? He's like, hey, we're the underdog. No one expected us to win. No one expected us to be here. Boy, did they lay a whooping on them the other day. I thought I was seeing things. What was it, 80 to 49? What was the score?
It was 85 to 41 one time I looked up.
Wow.
They almost had a 50-point lead on a Cavaliers team that led the NBA this year. But I'll tell you what, the Pistons showed other teams, hey, this is how you beat this team. They played Cleveland pretty damn tough this year. Should have beat them more than they did even. Yeah. And I keep bringing the Pistons up because I still think they are looked past. But they have shown a lot of teams how to win. They might have showed the Knicks how to beat Boston.
They gave them permission to play a style of basketball that they don't play all year long, and they brought it to Boston, and Boston was not ready.
Yep.
Boston was not ready in game one, and losing that game, the tempo has been all they're controlling it. Knicks are controlling it.
But going back to the Pacers.
Yeah, go ahead.
They got a shot for the knockout today, right?
Yep.
The 5-game gentleman sweep. I can't see it. I think the Cavs will play their best game of the year tonight. And if I was a betting man, I'm betting on Cleveland tonight.
Remember we were talking about the Pistons still affecting the playoffs? Not only did they affect the New York Knicks in preparing them, I guarantee the Boston Celtics didn't believe in the Detroit Pistons. So what they saw happen in that series, they probably laughed at the Knicks, and they took them lightly, and they got their butts whooped, and now they can't get out of the hole that they dug themselves. 2-2, OKC, Denver Nuggets, Jokic. What is it about this Nuggets team that seems so inconsistent from one night to the next, Anson Wells?
They only have one guy.
There it is.
They only have one guy.
Yeah.
And sometimes OKC really runs like it's kind of a hybrid zone man that they come in and out of. They've been very successful with that. There's other times where, Jokic can find his spots early and in possessions and kind of get them out of that. If he's cooking, they're almost unbeatable, but they just don't have enough other guys. So if Aaron Gordon is not playing a hell of a game and hitting everything from the outside, those guys lose. If Jamal Murray isn't making everything that he puts up, those guys often lose.
He's a different player from year to year,
really
game to game,
and
moment
to game, moment to moment, quarter
100%.
to quarter, for sure. So I think it all comes down to the fact that you have arguably the best player in the history of the NBA. I am saying that. It's weird to say. But what he has done on all sides of the game, you can't take anything away from him, and you can compare him to all the greatest centers, in my opinion, at this point. But he just doesn't have help. And I don't think that anybody else should be getting the MVP in the NBA for about 5 years because it's him.
Fair enough. I do agree. Maz, last thing, we'll wrap up basketball. We'll take a quick commercial break. There was some lion sound from Ray Agnew, GM, so we'll get some information, information on that. Anson will get to the chat, tell you some more things. Tom Mazaway, in the new day and age in the game, it doesn't seem like they care about dynasties. Doesn't seem like teams care about dynasties. Next season, the Boston Celtics will have just under $1 billion in terms of salaries. Jason Tatum getting hurt. They already won a championship. They've had some sustained success. Could you see the Boston Celtics blowing this team up?
Oh, yeah. I don't know about blowing them up, but they are going to.
But to a certain extent.
They are going to start separating. And
who you keep, who goes? Just give me a quick one.
I don't know. Can Tatum be traded at this time?
Yes.
Even with an Achilles? He's probably got to stay, so that means Brown's got to go.
Well,
someone's going. Porzingis, he ain't going to come back.
Derek White's making $200.
Yep. He's just a shooter.
Porzingis is making $180.
They are worth over $7 billion, so I think they did pretty well.
I think Porzingis is the guy that they need to move.
Yeah.
The guy only plays 2/3 of the regular season, and if you want to win a chip, you've got to have that cohesion. And when you don't know whether he's going to play in a playoff game from game to game, I think that's really tough on a team that really won that championship last year on the strength of how well Porzingis played in the finals.
Hey, just one before we get off basketball.
Go ahead.
Earlier in the chat, I spotted someone that said, Giannis to the Spurs for those 2 number 1 picks. And there's your Twin Towers. You said Cooper
Giannis,
Flag
Wemby
was going to be with Wemby. How about Giannis
Fox
and Wemby?
And
for what, the number 2 pick?
For 2 picks.
And
to
like
2
4
number 1
others?
picks. Yeah, for the 1 and the 9.
Maybe. I mean,
I just thought it was a pretty good take.
Yeah, that would be
you said
a hell
Twin
of a
Towers.
trio.
That's
man.
why I bring it up.
Be a hell of a trio. DeAndre Fox and
quick thought.
And Wemby and
last thought on the Celtics. And this is whether Jason Tatum got hurt or not. They wouldn't necessarily also be here if they had a clear leader and they had guys that played together and figured it out. because that tension that was there last year, but what do? We ignored it because they won. When you win, you don't talk about things. Winning masks everything. You're starting to see it this year. Is it Jalen? Is it Jason? You start to see it affect Tatum.
Yeah.
Like, this is the first time I actually saw it affect him. You see it affect Jaylen Brown at the press conferences. That energy is real. You have to have a number one clear, and everybody else find their roles. It just is what it is, and they have never established that. Quick commercial break. I'll tell you about the White Claw Tigers tour. It's going down, baby. 4 of the top bars in Detroit, all along that Comerica vibe. Even back in the day, Michigan Trumbull. We got McShane's. That's coming up. May 23rd is around the corner. That's the heavyweights. June 13th, it's Nemo's. June 19th is second best. I golfed with the guys at second best yesterday. Shout out to you. We will be there June 19th. And then the Old Miami at June 29th. White Claw Tour, it is. Glad to be a part of it. It's Eastern Distributors and Ben Johnson Law. We're going to hang out, watch some Tigers. The number one team in the AL right now. The pitch is hot. The bats are hot. Pull up. Summertime vibes.
Yeah, and I know you're tired of wearing that same old Detroit sports merch. It's a new era in sports wearables, new designs, and amazing apparel with the ultimate swag. Check out Woodward Sports' latest gear at shop.woodwardsports.com. Hoodies, tees, and hats all guaranteed to turn heads. Get your latest designs today. Shop.woodwardsports.com. Again, that's shop.woodwardsports.com. Get your Detroit sports merch now. We'll be right back.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Oh, yeah, everybody. We are the #1 sports digital media platform around the entire globe. I don't care what all the other shows around the globe say about their ratings. Baloney. We are number one. And you have 6 ways to catch our programming 7 days a week. You can watch us on YouTube, Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitch. Come like, share, join, subscribe. Come be a part of our family. We got room for you over here at Woodward Sports. Mr. Anson Wells.
Guys, come on, let's be honest. We like simple stuff like waiting your turn. Listen, we like uncomplicated, and that's exactly what Lady Jane's provides. Walk in, sign in before you know it. You are handsome and clean, and that hair is did. Lady Jane's is open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It is wicked awesome.
Welcome back. Second hour of the show. Anson Wells. You got something to tell the good people?
Of course. We've got some cards for you guys. Once again, bunch of homegrown Detroit stars and a few others, and the legend himself, Braylon Edwards, will be signing his rookie card for you. Get those super chats in. We'll read them for you. And each time you super chat, we will get you some slices of that prize wheel, which MV Pete over there in the TD booth will spin at 3:55. So make sure you get all of those in by 3:50.
All right, get it back in by 3:50.
How about some super chats, man? Want to read some super chats, or you want me to read them?
Please.
Okay, I'll take care of it. All right, Michael Weary started the show off. Thank you. He said, received my prizes yesterday. Thanks to Anson, Maz, and Bray. You are very welcome, Mike. You were one of our winners last week.
We appreciate you, brother.
Congrats to you. Rando Smalls with a 10 spot. Says, Braylon, I called Torque and Mize. I said they're going to be back. And I said the Tigers will beat the Dodgers in 6 in the World Series. But you, sir, not only said Javi to bat 300, but he might win a Gold Glove in center field. So thank you to Rando Smalls.
Rando, I appreciate you for that, man. But we appreciate Javi Baez. Talking about who got booed yesterday, Alex Bregman. Talk about a guy that gets cheered now every time Javi gets a hit, makes a play. It's the largest eruption.
It's amazing.
Not Tarek Scuba and Torkelson. They love Javier.
There's only one guy that doesn't like Javi Baez, and it's Neil Rule.
Neil Rule.
Are we going to start going to Lions games and hearing Javi Baez?
Yeah.
If he hits a dinger like Riley Green did against the Indians, the Guardians.
The 2 in the 9th inning?
100%.
The first time ever, 2 home runs. Once again, the first time ever.
I told you, every time.
First time ever. Only 62 players have hit 2 home runs in an inning.
I'm sorry, Carps.
Okay, but the Riley Green, the only one in the 9th inning, or the only 2 in the 9th inning in MLB history. It's a young league, though, right?
Dante with $20. That Kirby Joseph card would really look good with my Kirby Joseph jersey. And the Pistons got the Knicks ready for the Celtics. The Celtics got shell-shocked by how physical the Knicks are the entire game.
100%.
Absolutely.
Don't you hate when you go into a bathroom after someone has just blown the bathroom up?
It's a blow-up.
but hold up.
But then you get blamed for it.
Yes. That just happened in the bathroom. Somebody walked in and was walking out. And
it wasn't
me.
me.
Whoa. I'm like, I said, sir, I have 20 seconds in between running. It was clearly not I.
I'm going with Spenny.
You think I did that in 20 seconds, man? Come on.
I'm going with Spenny for that blow-up.
Please don't give me so much credit. Tom Mazaway, we got a little bit of sound from the Detroit Lions, but also Aaron Rodgers may make a decision today.
Is today the day?
Today may be the day for
Come
Aaron
on,
Rodgers.
man.
Cowboys, Eagles, we
can't
know
be.
what they're going to be the opener, but you want to talk about my man, Bill Belichick, and his girlfriend down there at UNC.
Listen, man.
Let's go, man.
This story's been hanging around like
it's the number one story everywhere but Woodward Sports.
It's been hanging around like food that you leave outside on your counter and don't refrigerate it. This is getting worse and worse. This was from last week first. We're going to start with the old one.
Start with the band.
Belichick's girlfriend, Jordan Hudson, banned from UNC. But then 5 minutes later, North Carolina says, no, she's not banned, but, she's a part of Bill's employer. She's not an employee of UNC, blah, blah, blah. Well, things are getting so bad for Bill now. This is the latest now. He might not even make it to opening day as the North Carolina head coach. Guys, this is a real story. Now, he's trying to go on all these talk shows. I think he's going to talk with Strahan tomorrow on Good Morning America. He can't, and she'll be there in the background somewhere.
Of course.
Tell me they're not practicing right now like she practices to be a cheerleader. They are practicing what to say. This story is getting worse and worse. Now, before we talk about it, the guy that broke the story is Pablo Torre. Very good journalist. He goes on a podcast, and he talks about one of the items.
Let me set it up.
About Bill Belichick and his girlfriend, Jordan Hudson. So this is Pablo Torre, the guy that's put his name out there for all these stories. He's on the money, guys. I believe him. I think you will too. Check it out.
Might be understating the spiciness, honestly, at this point, in terms of how this has gone behind the scenes. Because number 3,
oh boy,
what I've been told is that Bill Belichick entrusted Jordan Hudson with the power to run his new media empire. Quote, Jordan was my boss. To quote another, the level of cockiness to go along with the absence of resume is stunning. And the idea that Bill Belichick may not realize exactly the damage he's done to himself and certainly his legacy and also to his reputation as a coach. And so, yes, this will be a story about leadership and genius and privacy and discipline and also, crucially, the illegal sale of injectable erectile dysfunction drugs.
Sorry?
Wait, what did you say?
I'm sorry, what?
After the break.
Oh my God.
Monetization is...
Okay. How old's Bill?
70.
Okay. Things happen, right? To the male body. Things happen. I don't fault him for that. You can't fault any guy for that. And you have a 24-year-old girlfriend.
Yeah.
You got to be ready to go.
You gotta take it.
So I don't care about that, but he's getting it illegal. I don't even give a damn how he gets it, to tell you the truth. But the story is bad, guys. He looks really bad.
I wanted to talk about last
Jealousy.
week too because I didn't see that. Good for him for getting a job because I didn't like him on Around the Horn, but he sounded like he knew what he was talking about there. They also, her family owns a sex store. And they sell, obviously, they own a sex store. This is part.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, this is part of it as well. And the distribution of the pills, like you have to go, you got to go through the SEC to get things cleared before you just release it.
Can't you just go on TV? They got all the commercials. They got hymns.
Yeah, but
what are the other
but
commercials
that
they
stuff
got?
still gets cleared though. Like they're selling some janky stuff.
So he's getting the extra strength.
When Ryan Ermanni on this show said that Bill Belichick would be the place where if he would send in his kid, he would go, I laughed. Like I laughed then. And this is before any of this food. He's got a 22-year-old girlfriend. For as much as you talk about Shannon Sharp, add 20 years. That's Bill Belichick and this girl. Yeah. He's got a 20-year-old girlfriend that he allows to come to practice. This is where I'm going to send my kid. This is the distraction that will be around my kid. It's a S show. It's a bleep show. Meanwhile, I know that you're only setting it up for your son to take over, who's another weirdo.
Yep. He ain't gonna get the gig either.
This situation, he may not make it to week 1. They got the buzz they wanted because everybody's talking about North Carolina.
I completely disagree. I think it's a bunch of pathetic incel jealousy. I look at like listen, you might not hate Trump or you might like Trump, but there is a continued 9-year process of absolutely defaming a man's character and painting him in the worst light after 3 decades of appearing on Oprah and being celebrated over and over and over again. Now you've got this guy in Bill Belichick who you either hate him or you absolutely love him. And now he's dating this smoking hot model, and so everybody's going to hop on
I don't
Pop.
think she's that good looking.
What?
Stop
I don't.
What?
I really
Get out
don't.
of here, dude.
I mean, she's pretty. She's all right.
I tend to agree with Maz, but once again.
But regardless, for a 70-something-year-old man and 99.9% of the red-blooded American males in this country, they'd fall all over themselves for one date with that woman.
I like this old girl.
Right?
But let me ask you this question though, like, Anson, how do you allow yourself? I don't care who you date. I don't care if you go younger. Hell, they've been doing this for a very long time. This is nothing new. I was in those spaces with those owners and whatever. I know what they do. But when you look at what Bill Belichick has been for 69 years, I use that number on purpose, 69 years, and then all of a sudden in the last 18 months in this, or even less than that, like you're viewed a certain way. You looked at a certain way, and now
because he made his relationship public. Because no other coaches or GMs or anybody else is philandering with young women in sports, right? Come on, This is
But
Bill
it's not-
Belichick.
but
He
it-
controls his circle. He's brought this woman in.
Okay, but it did get
you
out.
Get one
but it
glimpse
did
of
get out.
But wait a second. You
Yeah.
get one glimpse of one practice where
Right.
she's at. She knew the cameras were going to be there. She's there.
Right.
We don't know what's going on every day. I mean, look at all of these. I'm going to go back to Trump. Look at all of these rallies he had all over for 2 years. You know, the one that CNN chose to cover
Right.
was when he almost got shot. But people talk about, oh, he didn't have all these people, because nobody saw it. He had all these people.
Why are we trying to compare Trump?
I'm comparing where the media absolutely
Right.
hops on one little thing. This is still the most winningest coach in NFL history.
Well,
this is a guy in UNC that's going to turn that program around. And everyone's worried about his girlfriend because they can't get her. This is just the most pathetic incel behavior, and how people are threatened by people dating somebody in their 20s when they're in their 50s, 60s, or 70s. Get over it.
I'm happy
She's an
for him.
adult. She gets to make her own choices. Yes, he needs to control his house, and she can't be acting the way that she did in that one interview. But to me, that practice is such an aberration, and
Okay,
we don't know what else is going on.
All right, I'll let you talk. At the end of the day, I'm not trying to argue about what you're dating. I'm arguing about simply who Bill Belichick is. You built yourself in this situation. You put yourself as the greatest coach of all time, handling situations a certain way, being classy, being private, doing this the NFL way. I'm only speaking to what this looks like on the aesthetic. Now I got you walking out of houses in the middle of the morning, some, at the time, 20-year-old girl house, this is getting out. Now you got some...
How else did you want him to leave?
Okay, now you have some young girl running up. It doesn't matter that it was one practice. It's the fact that she's even there. Bill Belichick from the past that we deemed on certain spaces would never put himself into a situation.
Why is this a story?
You said because it's Bill Belichick.
No, because it's the media taking that and then taking what's a very en vogue
But I don't
topic, which
care-
is to criticize spatially aged relationships. Period. And it's a non-story to me. It's ridiculous.
So this is a hit of a spatially aged relationship? No, it's not. It's Bill Belichick and some 22-year-old girl.
Like, why is that a problem?
Because it's never been Bill Belichick. This is not how he created
How do
his
we know
legacy.
that?
Not out in the public.
Okay, so maybe when he was
When you are a public
when he was in
figure.
New England, you don't think he was protected?
Anson, when you are a public figure and it gets out, we have the right to make conversations about it, and that's exactly what we're doing.
A conversation versus a daily, weekly fixation, I think it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And if you're offended by him dating a young woman, you need to check yourself.
Anson, hold on, buddy. I'm so not offended. If
I
I
didn't
wasn't
think-
married and I had a chance to date a 25-year-old girl that actually
Watch
dug
out.
me,
Well, hold on, man. Hold on.
that actually dug me, I'd be, of course. I'm rooting for us, male species.
But don't bring her to practice.
She is ruining him, his reputation.
Got-
He's doing these interviews. She's intervening. She's
He
making
can't even
him
speak for himself,
Right.
and he's
She's-
Bill fucking Belichick.
Right.
Hey.
She's making him look really bad. That's all. That's all we're saying. They wore Atlanta Falcons Super Bowl shirts. Remember when they beat them? 28-3? Was that the score at the time?
2000, yeah.
Remember 28-3? They wore that Bill Belichick would never go out and like do that to another NFL team. Go out and make them look bad. This girl is saying to them, hey, they don't want you in the NFL, Bill. They don't want you in the NFL. Okay, we're going to go to North Carolina, and we're going to show everybody. We're going to show them all up. Bill Belichick, that's not him. That's her. And it's like when a kid falls in love with a girl, and all of a sudden he leaves all his friends behind. He don't talk to his friends anymore. Hey, you want to go out? No, with my girlfriend. That's what he's doing. She is controlling his every move. She is. Am I jealous? Of course not. I'm happy for him.
Do you think she's controlling every move, or based on a couple of interviews, that's the narrative, and so you believe that Bill Belichick is being controlled by this
I just
woman?
said something before the interviews. They were wearing shirts and like in your face type of things. That's okay. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just going to tell you that she's bad news.
I think the problem is, Anson, there's two different conversations happening right now. I think the one conversation that you're arguing is being able to date whoever you want to.
But the two are together.
And then the narrative of it.
And I get where
what
he's.
Maz is just saying is like Bill Belichick is not even operating like himself. It's not about the girl he's dating. He doesn't seem like himself. And you're talking about somebody that has controlled every aspect of his life from being an intern in '79.
Let me ask you this: when he was winning championships in New England, how many stories did we see on his personal life? Did you know who he was dating?
He was married.
What, did you see his wife a lot? Did you see?
You see at events?
I don't remember seeing anything about
Bill
it.
Belichick's ex was a hot cougar.
If this woman was controlling him and she was 56, no one would be talking about it.
Yes, they would.
No, they wouldn't.
Of course they would.
I disagree. I completely disagree.
Real quick.
Go ahead, Ricky.
The reason why they're talking about it is because 4 years ago she wasn't legal.
Let Ricky get a word in here.
So would it change because
Yes, you're right.
everybody's saying that they ruining him, his relationship, and I mean his reputation. If he starts to win, does that change anything?
No, because it's in North Carolina. It's not where he made himself great at. It's college. Like,
Gotcha.
At the end of the day, it's like, who cares? Like, respectfully, Andy Reid, this wouldn't happen to him. This wouldn't happen to Chuck Noll. This wouldn't happen to insert Bill Walsh, insert the coaches that you call the greatest coaches. Like, this space wouldn't happen to where, if it's you or her, you look foolish.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I feel in this situation.
So I kind of feel like he's in a lose-lose. Like,
well, he put himself in this lose-lose.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to remember this in January.
I'm going to remember that.
I disagree. Well, I will, and that's all I care about.
Let's see if he makes it to the finish line. If he coaches North Carolina, which we all think he does, except Pablo Torre, if he makes it to the finish line and he puts them on the map, then of course
How do you fire a guy over his girlfriend? That's wrongful termination. I mean, if she's carrying on and doing things and they tell her she can't be on the practice field and then she shows up, then maybe he gets fired. But no program is bringing in the greatest NFL coach of all time and then firing him in the middle of spring practices. That's not going to happen. So he's going to be there. He's going to turn that program around. He may or may not still be with this young woman at the turn of next year. And you might remember it, but it won't be a conversation.
Let me ask you this question. If this was public before he got the job, does he still get the job?
It's Bill Belichick.
But see,
I'm 100% he still does.
But if you're watching this circus of this young girl, and let's say she's acting like that on ESPN,
they were already there isn't a practice for them to record. We already had them leaving her house. We already knew they were together. Yeah. This only happened because of the interviews. Now that he's at UNC. And you see her carrying on the field, and you see her over in the corner saying, we're not answering that question. Now, does he need to bring that in-house and go over what they're going to discuss when they have public interviews? I'm sure that he has.
Did you hear that she wrecked the Hard Knocks, that you were going to go to North Carolina and do Hard Knocks, North Carolina? That was great.
Oh, that's what they were supposed to do to college.
And all of a sudden they pulled out. No, thank you. We're done.
I wouldn't
Don't
want that.
tell me that's Bill Belichick. That's her.
I don't think NFL teams want the Hard Knocks covering them. In fact, I've heard all of them say that they don't. It's a major distraction. They came back to the Lions to do a follow-up after they had done it. They said no. That's why they go through all the teams and they have to space and hit everybody. No, man, I don't. No, not at all. I think that at that point, if I'm running a college team and a program, those young kids, that's even more distraction. These guys are trying to make a team, trying to get to the NFL. The last thing that you need,
I think it would have been great,
is HBO there.
It would have been great.
Fair enough. Tom Mazaway, are you confident in your new coordinators for the Detroit Lions?
I hope so. I'm getting there. I haven't seen them do a play yet, but I'm getting there. It's coordinators. They're all getting ready for the season.
They haven't done any plays yet, but here's Ray Agnew talking about the Detroit Lions' new coordinators.
I'm a big Kelvin Shepard fan, so I have no reservations, man. Shep, I was a fan of him as a player and as a coach, man. He's demanding. Our defense is going to be aggressive still, and and the guy's a great coach, man, and he get his players better, so. Love the move. And Johnny Moe, we know Johnny Moe, so, Johnny Moe's creative, aggressive as a play caller. So we're excited about those guys.
He says he's excited, so I take his word for it.
Yeah, me too.
Let me ask you this. What does success look like for Johnny Moe?
Okay.
And then I'll give you defense.
Well, the
Kelvin
Lions' offense has been what, top 3 the last couple of years?
Last 3 years.
Yeah. Keep them in the top 3. At worst, keep them in the top 5. If they drop below the top 5, then I'm going to have an issue. If I see guys not getting the ball, if I see Jahmyr Gibbs all of a sudden not getting the rock, I'm going to be pissed. If I see Amon-Ra St. Brown's catches go down, I'm going to question it. But as long as they win, that's all I care about. Just get me to the finish line. That's it.
Pete?
I'm doing work. I'm sorry, Braylon. I'm sorry.
All good, man. Hey, Ricky, what you got going on?
Run that back from me. I was reading the
What
message.
does success look like for Johnny Morton, offensive coordinator for Detroit Lions this year?
I mean, you know, I'm on a Super Bowl train. But him individually, I want to say like 13 wins. I can't think of anything on offense individually that I would be looking for. But at least 13, 14 wins. Let's say that.
Respectfully. So offensive output 13, 14.
I'm back. I'm back. I'm sorry. I was just doing some work there, Brad. I tell you what, you want an expectation for Johnny Morton?
There you go.
Use the weapons that were given to him, including how do you incorporate Isaac Tesla into the offensive program. If they're going to use him like a weapon, like they use Jahmyr Gibbs as a weapon, then I want to see how Johnny Morton. It's like playing chess. So we know he's probably good with the pawns, right? Let's see how he moves his knight. Let's see how he moves his bishop. Let's see how he especially moves that queen around the board to control the play field. I want him to tire out defenses. You want to win a Super Bowl, then he's going to have to make some. I want to see the greatest show on turf come to Detroit. Basically, is what I'd like to see, and I think that he has the speed on this team to get that sort of a show done by using the weapons in many different ways that we haven't seen. Let's shuffle the playbook. Let's open up some plays, Bray, that you probably didn't even think happened. Let's see what his game plan. Let's see how he plays chess on the field.
Can I add something real quick? It's kind of silly. Good trick plays. I do want to see a couple good trick plays because that was like a signature for us last season.
No such thing as silly. So P wants Mike Martz. I like it.
Yeah.
Anson, what say you?
Trick plays will go down because Ben's not here.
Agreed.
The offensive yards per game will go down. Our points scored per game will go down just a touch. But our time of possession will go up. Our defense will be on the field less. Might only turn into 11 games. I know you guys hate to hear that, but this is just one of the scariest schedules I've ever seen.
Tis.
We're in probably the scariest division in football, but we're going to see a different offense, and it's going to cause problems for the other defenses in the league that we're facing because they're used to a certain type of Detroit Lions offense. But we haven't lost any weapons. Our offensive line should be healthier. And I think that when you take a little bit less chances and you play a little bit more control offense, I think that this team can absolutely impose their will, not just by outscoring teams, but by physically dominating them for 60 minutes.
I appreciate that. This is where I'm at with Johnny Morton in offense. I want it to look good by game 3. Hear me out. I want this team and this offense to look good. Really, let me switch that up. I want it to look game 2, and I'll tell you why. Remember last year we watched the first quarter play out, and it was some sloppy play of the Lions, some injuries here or there. But, you know, they figured finished 3-1 in the first 4 games. You saw some improvement, really settled in game 4, game 5, right? You knew that you lost Ben Johnson this offseason, that this was going to be a different offense. You knew starting now. So if they look good by game 2, if they look chemistry tight, when it looks like you got the guys humping in the right direction, when it looks like golf is on from game 2 on, I'll believe in it because I believe you took the offseason serious, that you had guys here right now. You got guys here in minicamp. You got guys that forewent going somewhere else because they want to be around. They want to get locked in. So if I see that locked in this, because they're not going to practice in the preseason, we know this. I don't want that to be the excuse this year. Oh, nobody plays in the preseason, you know, so it takes us a couple games to get – I want them to come out and look like they're supposed to. That's if I know they're good enough.
And I love that take. I'm down with that. And then on top of it, you know, everybody here in Detroit begging for defensive linemen and edges, should I say. And 2 of our first 4 picks are offensive linemen. This team is going to maul teams. I like your take in the fact that it's going to take them a week or 2, especially if we're not seeing the starters during the preseason, for them to really figure out how to work it with the new guy. But I see this team continually doubling down on that offensive line and that defensive line. I think we're going to see a much more old school Lions team. And it might be hard for some Lions fans to handle at first because we might not take the chances or the trick plays or throw the field quite as far down. But we have the best running back tandem in the league. We have a top 5 offensive line. And when you limit Jared Goff's mistakes, you win, period.
Mm-hmm. Is it fair to say Kelvin Shepard might have faster and more success than Aaron Glenn, Tom Hasaway, considering where this defense is versus where it was?
Yeah. Aaron Glenn had to deal with all those injuries, man. First, as soon as he got him right up to where they was supposed to be, then Aiden Hutchinson went down, and then they all started going down like trees in a forest. The guy who takes over this year from Aaron Glenn's defense, Kelvin Shepard, walks into a pretty darn good defense, and it got better, right, with the draft. We hope it got better with the draft, and we'll see with free agency. There's still free agents out there, and a guy like Zadarius Smith is still out there. Hell, the long shot, Trey Hendrickson, is still out there. I know you don't want me to keep reaching for him.
Fools go, man. You better let that pipe dream go.
I know.
Bengals are losing their leverage, though, man. He's getting cheaper and cheaper.
Until he signs with the Bengals or goes somewhere else, I'm going to say there's still hope.
Okay, Maz, let me ask you, what would it do for you if somehow Brad Holmes worked his evil genius and he brought in Trey Hendrickson to the Detroit Lions?
I would bet him to win the Super Bowl.
Backflip.
I would bet him to win the Super Bowl. And you know what? I'd play my hand after that. If you can't sign a couple of our guys that we really love, but we win a Super Bowl, it's all good.
All right, Maz, look, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to tell these guys and girls about Planet Fitness, and then when we come back, we'll go around the NFL. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. My apologies, this is for everyone. Everybody's included in Planet Fitness. We're 50 metropolitan Detroit locations. They got the gyms right around the corner. The aesthetic is amazing, and it's clean, super clean. They practice that, and I know I say it every day, but it's true. So come on in where the fitness fits your budget, because they're not trying to hit you over the head. They got trainers with every membership that you purchase. So Planet Fitness, come on down. It's a family environment. Your fitness is essential.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Head to woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at woodwardsports.com.
Hey gang, dreaming of a new home but feeling a financial pinch? Well, Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That means $5,000 in your pocket. You can do whatever you want with that $5,000. Go see the Pistons, the Tigers, Lions, Red Wings, or maybe buy a used car for your kids. Whatever. It's yours. Give them a call today, 248-290-8242. Visit them online as well, markwhitesales.com. Again, that number, 248-290-8242, to make your dreams come true.
Les Stanford Buick and GMC, they've got great offers for everyone, and they've got an absolutely massive inventory. You can see those three options above my head right there. You get yourself into that 25 Sierra double cab elevation for only $169 a month. Unbelievable deal. Or the 2025 Envision preferred at only $259 a month, or the HV Hummer for only $699 a month. Get to Les Stanford today and check out their massive inventory like we talked about. Les Stanford Buick GMC, lesstanford.com.
All right, it's time to talk a little football. So let's take you around the NFL.
All right, guys. This is a little bit of an older story.
Big trades, big moves. Who's starting? Who's injured? What does it all add up to? It's time for Around the NFL on Ermanni and Edwards with Maz.
Hey, guys. This story, I take you back to the draft when Abdul Carter was selected by the New York Giants. Penn State, wore number 11 there. And the first thing he did is he asked Lawrence Taylor to break out the number 56 jersey for him. And LT basically told him to pound salt, go make your own numbers.
Pound salt.
So Gronk and Edelman, the two best buds, two former Patriots, have their little podcast, and they were discussing how that meeting might have went if Bill Belichick was involved. Check it out.
Hang on, Tommy. I misplaced it real quick. Sorry, hang on. Keep talking. Keep talking.
All right.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I can't wait to talk about this too, because
these are funny. I got back-to-back Abdul Carter messages with the New York Giants, because he asked for 56 and then he asked for number 11 from Phil Simms.
When one legend that won the Super Bowl told you to kick rocks, like, why did you turn to another one? Sources: Giants number 3 overall pick Abdul Carter. He tried to wear, or he's planning to wear 51 because he could not wear Phil Simms 11, whose family also told him to kick rock. What is the issue with trying to? I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
There's no. I don't want to say there's no respect, because then I become you're an old guy, and these young guys are trying to create the way, but they already exist in legend space, like Phil Simms, Super Bowls.
Amen. Here they are, Gronk and Edelman.
Yeah, they got Abdul Carter. Yeah, I think with the third pick in the draft, who's going to be a star. But was he serious? Was he serious asking for LT's number? Yeah, you were a high draft pick, but LT is an absolute legend, the best to do it, one of the best defenders of all time. And let me tell you, brother, like, you got to prove yourself. That's crazy, just asking for LT's number. And I'm glad that LT shut him down like that.
LT did the LT move, man. That was such an LT response. Go make your own freaking number, kid.
Mm-hmm.
What would Bill said to the kid if he asked for 56 at the New York Football Giants?
No, buddy. Yeah, there's one LT, and you're not LT. You're not even close to being LT. So how about you just get the fuck out of my office and get in your playbook, because you haven't done shit yet. And now you get number 62 for just being an asshole.
You kind of went. That sounded Al Davis to me. You went a little Brooklyn accent.
All right. It wasn't bad. It was one of my better impersonations. I'm not the impersonator, Julian. You are, but I gave it my best shot there. I mean, I feel like the words were on, but just the rhythm of it and how Coach speaks wasn't exactly there. But I think the wording was good. How about what would you say?
I think he would laugh at it. I think he'd be like, look, can we just Can we make a play before we try to ask for the greatest football player in the history of the game's number? Like, can we fucking put on our goddamn jersey before? Can we know where to line up before we he would?
Yeah, and it's 3 F-bombs there. We apologize about that.
Sorry, guys. Gronk and Edelman. Pretty funny though.
100%. Let me rewind on the Phil Simms comment. Let me ask you this, Maz. Not Maz, Anson, and then Maz. I know what you're gonna say. Was Phil Simms good enough in your estimation to be off limits? I want to open that up.
No.
Because I agree.
No, I mean he won a championship, but I mean
he's a tool, by the way. But
who is it? Man,
Jeff Hostetler won
the first black quarterback, Doug
Williams.
Williams. I mean, are we retiring his? Are we retiring Hostetler's? I mean,
Phil Simms had a better career though.
I mean, are we retiring?
Okay,
are we putting
on.
Matt Stafford's number up?
Come to a kid that grew up a Giant fan, all right? Don't ask Anson.
Well, that's not fair because you're looking at it as a fan.
No, I'm going to tell you the real deal.
I don't think that Vinny Johnson's 15 should be up in the rafters.
No,
I love Vinny.
No, it shouldn't.
I just wanted to ask somebody that wasn't.
Yeah.
And now I can ask somebody that is.
Okay.
Time out
Listen,
of the way.
growing up a Giants fan, they sucked. They were awful until I was 24 years old. 24 years of bad football. And they drafted Phil Simms, number 11 out of Morehead State. George Young was the GM. We're like, who the hell's Phil Simms? And he was the guy that built the 72 Dolphins, by the way, George Young, just to give you a sidebar. So Phil Simms was the first winning, very, very good quarterback that the Giants had since Y.A. Tittle.
Right.
Okay?
He was
I'm going back to the 50s.
5 games over 500 in his career, Maz.
Okay, buddy. Use your stats all you want. I just gave you the reason. He was the first Giants quarterback in the Super Bowl era to make the Giants relevant. And he was the first guy to go to Walt Disney World. Mark Champion. Hey, what are you going to do, Phil Simms? I'm going to Disney World.
You got to retire his number then, right?
He was the first one.
But
Phil Simms was the first great Giants quarterback since their glory days of the 50s.
Okay, once again, I think there are 2 questions being answered. Let me dial it into the one that I want.
This guy just hates New York.
Was he
78.5% rating for his career.
There he goes.
Was he good enough to
the Giants? Yes.
Well, I know that. Like, I don't mind him being retired. I'm fine with that. But was he good enough to where the jersey can't be used by Abdul Carter was more the question. Because he's still going to be retired whether he's using the jersey or not.
Yeah, Abdul, I'm sorry.
Okay, and that's fair.
Should Robert Porche's 91 be retired?
Of course
for the
not.
Lions?
He didn't win anything. What did he win? Where did he open? Restaurants?
All right.
That's why you're retiring him?
He had a better career.
But you love Chris Philman.
He had a better career than Phil Simms did.
Oh
he
my
just
God.
didn't win a championship.
You're out of your mind, man.
Well, then, I mean, Barry probably shouldn't be either, huh?
Okay, I'm done with you. Let me move on.
Maz, you excited?
Let me do non-New York stories for this guy. Derek Carr retiring.
Oh, yeah, I saw this.
After 11 years, and the Saints saved $30 million this year on the cap. He kind of did him a favor. He wasn't going to be able to play. He had a shoulder injury. So he rides off into the sunset. So someone said to the Saints, to their Kellen Moore, their new coach, what are you going to do for quarterbacks? So they're going to rotate their quarterbacks. They got the rookie this year, their second-round pick. There he is.
Tyler Show from Louisville.
And who else do they have on there?
Jake Hayner and Spencer Rattler.
There you go. So there's your Saints quarterbacks.
So they're taking a page out of A.J. Hinch's playbook and rotate the roster. Before we get to that, Derek Carr, he did himself and the New Orleans Saints a favor. It was time to hang him up. Him and Kirk Cousins, most overrated quarterbacks ever, man.
It's a good thing they passed on Shadur Sanders 4 times down in the Big Easy, huh?
Get him, Anson.
Did you
know that he did something for the first time now, albeit
Derek Carr?
No, Shadur Sanders.
Does Derek Carr use eyeliner?
He had over 400 yards and 5 touchdowns in back-to-back off-season, whatever they call. Again, I'm not anointing the man because of that, but the kid's spinning that rock at practice right now.
Did you guys see who his number one target is as of right now over there?
Bub Means?
Harold Fannin Jr. from Bowling Green, baby.
Nice.
His
Deep
number
cut
one
there,
target.
pal.
Good
Look
job,
at the
Pete.
highlight reel. He's throwing to 88 all over the place, baby.
I just want to know if you're the New Orleans Saints franchise, that fan base, and you're looking at what is this?
Right.
What is your thoughts on your current franchise? This can't be sustainable.
No, I mean, that's easily one of the worst quarterback rooms that we've ever seen. I've been kind of wondering where that team is headed for a handful of years now, and it seems like they were just trying to kind of patch up some holes that were still left over from their Super Bowl, and it's like, rebuild, damn it.
I'm glad you said that, Maz. I think the New Orleans Saints will be the new Chicago Bears.
Really?
I'm talking about holding on to one Super Bowl win for 40 years.
Oh. Hey.
I'm just saying.
Could
See
be.
what you did there?
Could
You
be.
like that? You like
I did.
Hey, before we take our break, we got one more break to go. You mentioned Shedeur, so here you go. Shedeur Sanders says he's on the same page as Tom Brady was.
That was it. My story's gonna be similar. You know, I was a late round draft pick, but we're here now, so none of that stuff matters. That just mattered on the day, and I'm just excited to be here and ready to work.
Now, Brady, prior to the draft, told him and Dion, I think everyone saw that viral video. He said, hey, stop shopping for Royces and start looking at that playbook. And they were all laughing together. And Brady loves this kid. They didn't pick him, but he loves him. And the Sanders family digs Brady as well. So the kid's like, hey, he was drafted in the 6th round. I was drafted in the 5th round. We're kind of on the same pattern, the same path going forward. And he's been looking great in rookie minicamp so far.
He has been looking great in rookie minicamp, and I'm happy for him. Look, do me and yourself a favor. Stop mentioning yourself in the same breath as Tom Brady.
Please.
And only reason I'm saying that, because I know what the example was, so I understand why. You did it once. It's cool. Don't do it again. Because the Tom Brady situation was very different. Tom Brady should have been a first-round quarterback. We know Ann Arbor, my guy, love him to death. Had to make a move, had to play Drew Henson. That situation got Tom Brady is 6'5", but that can analyze back then. He would be a first-round quarterback. He goes to a situation that liked him. He goes to a situation that they fit. Goes to a situation where he's able to take over. So you just getting that playbook like Tom said. I'm talking about his path and blah, blah, blah. Bro, you got 5 quarterbacks there. Like they drafted you. The only person that likes you is the owner, and that's not necessarily a good thing. Take it from somebody that has that advice. I mean, that experience. So.
You know what I love about that situation?
You should call him.
Is I think the best thing that could have happened to Shedeur Sanders is not be in a position where the team needs him, because he needs this team now. Yeah. And so far, since he slipped, I've only been seeing mostly all the right things. I don't love the Tom Brady comparison, but it's the same path.
Understood, yeah.
You know, so
late pick. Yeah.
Hey, man, this kid, he's taking this thing the right way, and he seems to be on the right path. There's gonna be a lot of teams regretting the passed on him.
One of my favorite things, Maz, is like for me, quarterbacks, were you successful in college? Like, were you successful in high school? And when I look at Shedeur, he's won everywhere. He won in high school. He gets to Jackson State. I understand it's the HBCU. What did they do? They turned that program around. He gets to the championship game. They lose. He goes to Colorado. They win the first 3 games. Didn't finish well that first season, but the next season they go 9-3 and almost dare I say, they get one of those 12 spots in the playoffs. He turned that program around. So I mean, you just have to pay attention when you see a certain thing.
Amen.
Yeah.
I hope he does well as well.
I think he will.
Break.
I apologize. I forgot all about the brand. I got to talk about Shedeur Sanders. Let's say about the best pizza, not only in the state, but in the country.
And they haven't just been doing it for a little while. They've been doing it since 1946, and we are talking about legendary Buddy's Pizza with that legendary original Detroit style pizza. That original location still standing at 6 Mile and Connet. You can sign up for Buddy's Rewards to earn points right now and and receive all kinds of, I'm struggling today on these, receive all kinds of exclusive promotions. You can download it right there above my head, and you can start today saving 10% on your entire order using that 10 meal. Once again, that's 10 MEAL. Head on over to buddyspizza.com and get yourself some of that Detroit style deep dish.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
You know what time it is out there, sports fans. It's time for you to scan that QR code above my head. Use that code word over there, Woodward1000. Open up your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account. When you do so, and you make your first deposit and your first bet of $20 or more, if your first bet happens to lose, it won't, but if it does happen to lose, you get your first bet back as a bonus bet up to $1,000, but only if you scan that QR code above my head. Use that code word over there, Woodward1000, to open up your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account. Gentlemen.
All right, appreciate that. Last segment of the day, almost finished. Back to wrap it up as you see this beautiful picture of Tarek Skubal,
stud,
the machine. Like, there is no way possible that our own Chris Illich does not put some money in those pockets of Tarek Skubal to keep him here in Detroit for many years to come. What topic do you want to finish up with?
I'm going to finish up with I got some more NFL for you.
No, I said I was looking at this.
Yeah, I want to tell you about the Rams.
First.
Look what the Rams are doing, guys. They're turning their mini camp into a Maui camp, they're calling it. They're going out to Maui June 16th through the 19th. First team to take their show on the road to a nice tropical destination. Bray, that was the old Pro Bowl destination. Now the Rams are like, hey, it's only L.A. to Hawaii. How long is that flight? Can't be that long.
Yeah, it's a couple hours. I think it's like 2 hours, hour and 45. Look, my only question is, are you guys going to put some money in that stadium? Because of all the stadiums that I've ever played at, including the Silverdome, that was by far the worst turf. Like, I fell on that turf. I said, if I make the Pro Bowl next year, man, I'm going to have to pass.
I don't think they're playing at Aloha
Stadium.
Stadium.
Being fun.
But, yeah, absolutely.
That sounds fun, though.
It does.
Did he just blaspheme the Silverdome?
He did.
First of all, have you ever been tackled on the Silverdome? Skin your elbow up? Like, you ever twist your knee up?
You already know the answer to that question, Braylon.
No, I don't, because I actually played in the Silverdome when I was in high school.
Yeah, well, I wasn't an all-state wide receiver in high school either.
Well, neither was I. But
really?
I was.
Son of a son.
Hey, keeping it with the Rams. So, did you want to mention anything on this?
No, I was just after you finished with your. Well, we might have a hockey 20 seconds. I do want to get to these super chats at some point.
Hey, the Rams. One last thing for the Rams.
Yeah, they got the right receiver.
They did. This is Sean McVay showing the Rams in one of their little practice sessions just who they got in Davante Adams.
Be able to have Davante Adams. He's got a lot of respect. He's earned it with the way that he works over the course of his career. But it's always good to be able to see some of the cool guys have put on tape. All right, looking forward to being able to see you guys partner up with Tay. Up top, recognizing man coverage. And you can appreciate it from this angle. All right, the over the shoulder. But when you see it from the end zone, Talk about being able to win ISO, sideline awareness. That, yes, Phil was right giving up for Tay on that play. All right, we're not done yet. We got a couple more. One of the things that guys have seen about Devontae, you can tell he was a hooper, can get parallel, can work edges on people. These are the things that you love to be able to see, all right? Isolation fades. This is going to make us better collectively on both sides. All right, being able to add a great player like Davante Adams, and he's got the ability to be able to finish and make plays. Very excited to add him, more importantly because of the person that he is, but he is also a total G on the field. Give it up for Davante Adams.
How about Matthew Stafford looking like a kid at Christmas?
I've been trying to tell you guys for 4 years who my favorite wide receiver has been in the past 15 years is Davante Adams. Like, he is still that good. Even last year with the ailing Aaron Rodgers, the aging Aaron Rodgers, he found ways to still be special. Matt Stafford, who played with Calvin Johnson, Triple Crown winner, played with Cooper Kupp, Triple Crown winner. He care less about that right now. He's looking at Davante Adams and seeing what this season could hold. You don't get many opportunities to play with special people, and both of those individuals are special, because I guarantee you, for as much as Davante Adams is excited, he's also played with Aaron Rodgers. He also knows what comes with that, what to expect. So it's going to be a match made in heaven, and now, I get so jealous of receivers like this.
Yep.
He got to play with Matt Stafford and Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr.
Pretty
I
cool.
would have took Derek Carr.
Pretty cool.
I would have took Derek Carr for what I played with. So kudos to him, but it's gonna be a show. I'm telling you.
You got Sanchez.
That you said what?
You got the Sanchez.
I
You
love
got Mark Sanchez.
I love Mark Sanchez.
Yeah.
He ain't Matt Stafford.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he's not Aaron Rodgers.
You also got Charlie Fry.
Oh my God. Just misery. Derek Anderson.
That's what made me sick.
Like me throwing.
The sickest thing that happened in this free agent class was Davante Adams going to the Rams. That one really makes me ill. It does. It gives me. That's why I said
Gives you gas.
Rams are they're gonna be in the NFC Championship game against the Lions.
100%.
Yep.
I hope the Lions are there.
Me too.
Browns going to be in the AFC Championship too?
Not this year.
They're going to the Super Bowl.
I'm opting out of a Matt Stafford conversation right now, but I will catch up with the super chat here.
Messing with you.
Let's see. I don't think we got to. We did there. Randall Smalls back in again. Anson, my dad as a child told me that you can go to a baseball game and see something never done before every single time you go. Randall Smalls again. Why do I hear it's the end of the world as we know it? And I believe that was in reference to Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Dante, 151, rounding it out and finishing it up for us. Breaking news, the Dallas Mavericks are not entertaining any trade for the number one pick.
They're not.
And they are dead set on selecting Cooper Flagg.
I'm good with it. It's going to be great to watch what he's going to turn into working with AD and Kyrie.
I'm happy for Dallas.
100%.
I wish it was us.
Me too. A few times in the last this decade.
I don't. Like how we built ours or how ours was built, it's unique to Detroit. Like this situation is unique to Detroit. The K, it's unique. I like it.
All right, shout out to everybody in the Super Chat for helping us out today. We didn't really remind you guys much. We didn't show you the wheel. I will be back on Thursday and Friday. I'm going to be bringing some extra stuff. I want to see all the love that you guys have given us the last couple of weeks. But I do know that my man, MVP, has the wheel going there.
That's right, buddy.
And let's start it when it hits this next blue at Dante 151 and span.
While we're doing this, man, the Stanley Cup thing.
Oh, yeah.
I can't do that.
I'll wait for Pete.
Probably could get through it while it's going.
I know, but Pete has to put up the thing.
Does he?
Yeah, I'm going to wait.
We have to see.
I'm going to wait.
Soccer.
Yes.
Oh, right back to the same one we started on.
Randall Small. It would make sense today.
Dante wanted that card, too. Dante's going to be pissed.
I'll figure out something for you, Dante. I got another
That's
Kirby
a wolf
that
howl.
when you do win, I will make sure
that was a wolf howl.
I will make sure that Kirby gets to you on your next win, Dante. But we appreciate you. And, of course, Rando, we appreciate
Congrats,
you.
Randy.
And everyone else that hopped in the Super Chat today. I'll be back again Thursday and Friday to do a little more giveaways.
And before we leave, this is it. 20 seconds on the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Canes rip the Capitals 5-2. They lead 3-1. Oilers over the Knights, 3-0. Calvin Pickard, another win. They're up 3-1. Tonight, Stars up 2-1. They host the Winnipeg Jets. That is your Stanley Cup update.
Jets tend to don't finish well in either sport, so I would probably pick them to lose. Tomorrow, I can't wait to talk about the streaming because it's gotten out.
ESPN is breaking the mold, guys.
Sonic Control, look, appreciate you guys tuning in. We will get more. We will have sound from today, and then camp is starting for the Lions this week, so get some news out of Allen Park, man.
Tomorrow's the schedule release.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There it is.
I'm so excited for that. It's all he talked about yesterday.
You ready, man?
I can't wait.
Can't wait to get the schedule. We're going to have a good time tomorrow.
Let's go.
Ricky, Anson, we are Money That Was Mass. We'll see you tomorrow.